This morning, a crisis driven by an explosion in our world's reliance on plastics.
Plastic has only been around 100 years.
President Obama signed a bipartisan bill to phase out microbeads.
The ocean is almost seems so full that it's throwing plastic back out at us on the beach.
Look on any beach in the tide line and you're likely to find hundreds of these tiny little pieces of plastic. It starts to give you an inkling of just how much must be out there.
Are you a fan of seafood? Mussels, oysters, and scallops have some of the highest recorded plastic levels.
A water bottle, plastic packages, netting, plastic utensils, part of a car. We also found black styrofoam.
My name's Hayley, and what you just saw, well, that was just the beginning. Did you know that every piece of plastic ever made still exists today in some capacity? For the last 100 years, contemporary plastic has been locked into a cycle of production, consumption, and disposal. Since mass production of plastic began approximately 60 years ago, industries have produced over 8 billion metric tons of plastic. Of that, just 9% has been recycled, 12% incinerated, and almost 80% of all plastic has ended up in landfills or the natural environment, finding its way into rivers and feeding into the world's lakes and oceans. Microplastics are those plastic particles which are smaller than 5 millimeters in size, leaving those larger to be macroplastics. These microplastics find their way into the marine environment from their terrestrial origins, through wind, rivers, or wastewater, or through recreational activities such as fishing. Most of the marine plastic that can be found in the ocean is in recognizable forms of plastic, bags, bottles, and fishing nets and gear. UV rays may break down these larger plastics into fibers, fragments, films, and foams. These unrecognizable marine plastics, such as microbeads and fragmented pieces of plastic from larger marine litter, go on to make their way into the complex food web of marine ecosystems, get ingested by corals, and litter beaches like sand. These microplastics are becoming a staple of the Anthropocene, the current geological epoch defined by the demands of humankind on natural resources and the impact that extraction is having on all ecosystems. In 2014, it was estimated that around 5.25 trillion plastic particles were in the world's oceans. On top of additional pressure on ocean ecosystems, including industrial fisheries, eutrophication, ocean acidification, and the climate crisis, microplastics are a further burden on an already fragile environment.